Hello students, I am Dr. K. Sarojini Chakravarti, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Khairtabad, Hyderabad. So in this picture what you are seeing a pink color flower and a white color flower and a mixture of both. Okay, so what is this one? Why you have occurred two different colors in a same flower? Okay, so this is because of gene interactions. So the today's topic is about gene interactions. So according to Mendel, so when you cross between a red color flower and a white color flower, so what type of flower you have to get in F1? It should be a red color because red is dominant over white color. And according to Mendel's laws, you have to get red color because law of dominance says that. But instead of having a red color, we got a pink color. So that is the intermediate between red and white. So why it has happened? It has happened because of many reasons. One of the reason is interaction between the genes. So Mendelian genetics it does not explain all kinds of inheritance for which the phenotypic ratios in some cases are different from Mendelian ratios. So according to Mendelian ratios for monohybrid crosses, it is 3 is to 1 and for dihybrid crosses in F2 it is 9 is to 3 is to 1. But some interactions or some when you go with some inheritance, instead of getting 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 or 3 is to 1 for a monohybrid, they got some other different kind of phenotypic ratios. This is because sometimes a particular allele may be partially or equally dominant to the other or due to existence of more than two alleles or due to lethal alleles. So according to Mendel, what he said, one character is, inherited by gene, and the gene it has two alleles. But if it is not like that. One character is not, it is not because of one or two alleles. It is because of existence of more than two alleles. So the expression of a gene is not independent of each other, and it is dependent on the presence or absence of other gene or genes. So these kinds of deviations from Mendelian one gene, one trait concept is known as factor hypothesis or interaction of genes, or also it is also known as gene interactions or genetic interactions. So these gene interactions, they are classified into two categories. One is intra-allelic interactions or allelic interactions. The second one is non-allelic interactions or intergenic interactions. So this is the first examples we have to use is allelic interactions. In allelic interactions, one is incomplete dominance, the second one is lethal factor, and the last is multiple alleles. So in incomplete dominance, we will see that in detail. Next one is lethal factor. That homozygous condition it causes death. Example: yellow coat color in mice, albino seedling in barley. Last is multiple alleles, occurrence of more than two alleles in a single locus. So example is our blood group system in humans and self-sterility in tobacco. Non-allelic interactions are many. One is a simple interaction and next one is complementary gene interaction. Next is epistasis. In epistasis again it is divided into two categories, recessive and dominant, inhibitory, polymorphic, duplicate gene and multiple factors. So we are going to see a few of them in detail. So first one is allelic interaction. Example is incomplete dominance. That is one of the allelic interaction is incomplete dominance or blending inheritance. So here what is happening? A dominant allele may not completely suppress other allele. Hence, a heterozygote is phenotypically distinguishable. That is, it has an intermediate phenotypic character. It comes into existence from either is homozygotes. So that is known as incomplete dominance, which is a deviation from law of dominance, which is given by Mendel. So here we the examples of incomplete dominance we'll see in Snapdragon and Mirabilis jalapa. The cross between, as I said, between two pure parents, that is red flower and white flower plants, it yields pink colored F1 hybrid plants. That is an intermediate color. When F1 plants are self-fertilized, the F2 progeny shows three classes of plants or three phenotypic characters of the plants in a ratio that is 1:2:1 instead of 3:1. One is red, two pink, and one white. The two pink are intermediate in occurrence. So this is the crosses where you can see the parents red flower, the gametes are capital R and small r. When they are crossed, F1 is capital R and small r. According to Mendel, we have to get a red color because R is dominant. Capital R is dominant. But instead of that, you can have a pink color. This is because of incomplete dominance. And selfing, when you do the selfing, self-fertilization in F2 progeny, red flower is only one, pink that is intermediate 2, and white are 1. So genotypic and phenotypic ratio are same, that is 1:2:1. Instead of phenotypic ratio 3:1, we got 1:2:1. Now we'll see non-allelic gene interactions. The non-allelic gene interactions are of 5 types. Many other, but we'll take only 5 into consideration. Epistasis. Epistasis is again divided into dominant and recessive. Complementary gene interactions, duplicate gene interactions, simple interaction of genes. Last one is inhibitory gene interactions. Now we'll see each one in detail. What is epistasis? When a gene or a gene pair masks, it covers or prevents the expression of other non-allelic gene is called epistasis. So the gene which produces the effect is called epistatic gene, and the gene whose expression is suppressed is called hypostatic gene. So as epistasis of 2 types, that is recessive and another one is dominant. So first we'll go with recessive epistasis or supplementary factor. And the factor of and the ratio of this one is recessive epistasis 9:3:4. So what is recessive epistasis? So homozygous recessive condition of a gene, it determines the phenotype irrespective of the alleles of other gene pairs. Recessive allele hides the effect of the other gene. So here example what you think, the coat color of mice is controlled by 2 pairs of genes. So the dominant gene, capital C, it produces black color, but in its absence of it, it causes albino. So gene A produces agouti color in presence of C, but cannot express in absence of it. With that is, if C is absent, so it results in albino. So the recessive allele C is epistatic to dominant allele A, capital A. So how it is happening, we'll see. So here the parents are black and albino. So the gametes are CA and capital small a and CA, and what F1 we got, and F1 is self-fertilized, and this is the if you go with the checkerboard, then F2 you'll get like this. So when you know what we said, C is epistatic to dominant allele capital A. Okay, so what is happening? Actually, it should give agouti. When capital C and A are there, it is giving agouti. But when dominant allele is not there, then it gives a black color. Okay, but when dominant allele is there and recessive C gene is there, what C gene is doing? So it is a recessive epistasis, means when it is a recessive condition, this allele is it is preventing the expression of dominant allele, that is capital A. So instead of getting the black color or the agouti, we have to, instead of getting the agouti color, what we are telling, we are getting color, that is albino. So what does it mean? The recessive allele C is preventing the expression of dominant allele A. So in the presence of recessive allele small c, the dominant allele capital A, it is unable to express. So that's why it is known as recessive epistasis. And the ratio is agouti 9, black 3, albino 4. So 9:3:4, which is a deviation from 9:3:3:1. Next is dominant epistasis. So what in dominant epistasis does, there are the recessive gene is allowing or not preventing the expression of the other gene. And here what happens in dominant epistasis, a dominant gene does not allow the expression of other non-allelic gene. That's why it is known as dominant epistasis. So here we are taking an example of summer squash. The fruit color of this summer squash is governed by two genes. One is W, another one is Y. So the dominant gene W for white color, it suppresses the expression of the gene capital Y, which controls yellow color. So yellow color appears only in the absence of the dominant gene W. So what does it mean? Dominant gene W is epistatic to Y gene. Okay. So in absence of both W and Y gene, green color develops. So another color develops. So this is, the parents are white and green. And when they do when crossing is done, F1 is white, and after the self fertilization, so this is the progeny what we got in F2. Okay. So when what we are saying, capital yellow, when this dominant gene W is absent, Y gene is expressing its color, that is yellow color. But though it is dominant, but because of presence of dominant W gene, the Y gene is unable to express itself, and instead of getting a yellow color, what color you are getting? You are getting white color. So this means W gene is epistatic to Y gene. So W gene is preventing the expression of Y gene. That's why instead of getting yellow color, white color we got. And when both the genes are absent, when both the dominant genes are absent, when both the genes are in recessive condition, we'll get a different color, that is green. Okay, so the phenotypic ratio is white 12, yellow 3, green 1. So 12 is to 3 is to 1, which is again a deviation from dihybrid Mendel ratio. That is 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Second one is complementary gene interactions. The ratio of complementary gene interactions 9 is to 7. So what happened in complement? They complement each other. Certain characters are produced by the interaction between two or more genes occupying different loci inherited from different parents. So these genes are complementary to each other or one another. That means if they present alone, they remain unexpressed. But when they are brought together, complement with each other, then they'll express. So that's why they are known as complementary gene interactions. When they are individual, they are unexpressed, but the two genes, when they brought together, they express. Here we'll take the example of sweet pea, that is Lathyrus odoratus. Here two genes are there, that is C and P. And these two genes are required to synthesize anthocyanin pigment, which gives purple color. So C and P genes are required to give purple color. But absence of any one of the gene, it cannot produce anthocyanin pigment. And instead of getting a purple color, it gives white color. So what does it mean? It means C and P genes are complementary to each other for anthocyanin pigment formation. So both the genes should be present to express the character. So this is the parents. The parents are white and white. But what is the difference? Why both are white, but still what is the difference? When you go with the genotype, first parent white is capital C, small p, and second white is small c, capital P, capital P. Why they are white? Both genetically they are different, but still they are giving white color. Why? Because here the genes are in heterozygous condition. They are not in homozygous dominant condition to give the anthocyanin pigment. Now we will see the cross. So when you F1 is self-fertilized. So here from this cross, what you are seeing, when both the genes are in dominant condition, you can see anthocyanin pigment formation has taken place, and you'll get purple color flowers. But when one of the dominant gene is absent, it results in the formation of, it does not result in the formation of anthocyanin pigment, and it results in the production of white colored flowers. That's why complementary gene interaction, the ratio is 9 is to 7. 9 purple and 7 white colored flowers. Third one is duplicate gene. The ratio of duplicate gene is 15 is to 1. So here, what is duplicate? Sometimes a character is controlled by two non-allelic genes whose dominant alleles produce the same phenotype, whether they are alone or together. Okay, so here we'll take an example of shepherd's purse, that is Capsella bursa pastoris. The presence of either gene A or B or both, it results in the formation of triangular capsules. Capsule is nothing but the fruit formation, shape of the fruit. When both these genes are in recessive condition, so we'll get oval capsule. So what does it mean? Duplicate gene means here either a single gene or both the genes are present. Either in any condition, it gives the same character. But when both the genes are in recessive condition, it gives a different character. So here we'll take an example. Here the parents are triangular capsule, that is capital A, capital A, capital B, and oval capsule, that is small a, small b, for the recessive condition. And F1 is triangular capsule because it is a heterozygous condition. So heterozygous condition when both the genes are in heterozygous, so it gives triangular capsule. And when self-fertilization done, what is F2? So this is F2. Very clearly we can see only one in one place, that is when both the genes are in recessive condition, homozygous recessive condition, only you will get oval shaped capsule. Other than in any heterozygous condition, either one gene or both the genes are present, like both the genes are present or either any one gene is present in a dominant condition. So here this is dominant, either only one gene is in dominant condition, still it gives the triangular shaped capsules. That's why the duplicate, it may be a dominant gene is in a either present, any one of the gene is present, both the genes is present, it gives a triangular shaped capsules, and the ratio is 15:1, 15 triangular capsules and single is oval capsule. Fourth one is simple interaction. The simple interaction, again, ratio is same as dihybrid ratio of Mendel, that is 9:3:3:1. But what's it differ? How it differs? Here, the two non-allelic gene pairs affect the same character. The dominant allele of each of the two factors produces separate phenotypes when they are alone. When both the dominant alleles are present together, they produce a distinct new different phenotype. The absence of both the dominant allele gives rise to another phenotype. So here very simple. So here what a simple interaction is, the two dominant, when dominant allele of two factors, it produces separate phenotypes when they are alone. But when they are together, it gives rise to a different phenotypic character. When both are absent, again it gives rise to a different phenotypic character. So what does it mean is, it means the non-allelic gene pairs, it affects the same character. Okay. So here we'll take the inheritance of comb types in foals. In birds, foals means in birds. So where R gene gives rise to rose comb and P gene gives rise to pea comb. But when both are dominant in condition, it gives a different phenotype, that is single comb. And when both are in recessive condition, then it gives us a different phenotype, that is walnut. Okay. Now we'll see how the crossing over has taken place. Here the parents are rose comb and a pea comb. So why rose comb? When R is dominant, gives rose character, and when P is dominant, gives pea comb. Okay. Next, F1. F1 is, you know what is F1? F1 is a heterozygous condition. Capital R, small r, capital P, small p. So what does it mean? Heterozygous, when both are dominant, it gives a different phenotype. The phenotype here is now walnut comb. When self-fertilization occurs, what is F2? Now we'll see F2. So in the F2 progeny, when both R and P genes are dominant, it gives walnut comb. Okay. When R is dominant, it gives rose. When P is dominant, capital P is dominant, P gene is dominant, gives pea comb. And when both R and P genes are in, homozygous recessive condition, it gives us different phenotype, that is single. Okay. But Mendel's 9:3:3:1 is also the same way, but in a different interaction. So the interaction between the two genes is in a different way when you compare with this simple interaction. So simple gene interaction is where you will get, when both the genes are in dominant condition, it gives one phenotype. When either of the one gene is dominant, it gives its own phenotype, and when both the genes are in recessive condition, it gives another phenotype. Okay, that's why it is 9:3:3:1. 9 walnut combs, 3 rose combs, 3 pea combs, and 1 single comb. The last is inhibitory gene interaction or factor, and the ratio of this one is 13:3. Inhibitory factor is such a gene which itself has no phenotypic effect but inhibits the expression of another non-allelic gene. So this is very important. So what is inhibitory gene? It does not have its own phenotype character to express its own phenotypic character, but it inhibits the expression of another allelic gene. So here we take in rice, in the example of rice, purple leaf color is due to the gene P, capital P, and small p, it gives green color. So how it happens, what it happens. Another non-allelic dominant gene I, capital I, it inhibits the expression of dominant gene P, but it is ineffective in recessive form. Thus, the factor capital I has no visible effect of its own, but inhibits the color expression of capital P. Okay, so what does it mean? I does not give its own phenotypic character, does not express its own phenotypic character, but this I gene, it inhibits the expression of P gene. Okay, capital P gene. Now we'll see. The parents are purple and green, and when crossing over takes place, it gives F1, that is green color, and after self-fertilization of F1, F2 progeny is this one. So when P is present, in the presence of I, that is capital I, that is the inhibitory gene, this I gene, it is, it is preventing the expression of P gene. That's why whenever capital I is present, either in a homozygous or heterozygous condition, it is not allowing the P gene to express. So it is giving white color. But when I gene is in recessive condition, now P gene, it can express its phenotypic character. So when I gene is in recessive condition, it is giving it's giving its expression, that is purple color. So here, here, and here, because in these three, the progeny I is in recessive, homozygous recessive condition. Okay. So what I said, when it is in the parents, small b, and I when it is I in dominant homozygous condition, then it will get green color. But here no, we are got only nothing where we get. Why it is not giving green color? Because I is, when I is present, it has no color, it has nothing to express. That's why it is giving white color. So in an inhibitor gene interaction, the ratio is 13:3. What is 13? White color is 13 and 3 is purple. And 3 is purple. So this is gene interactions. This is gene interactions, and this gene interactions is is a deviation from Mendelian dihybrid and monohybrid ratios. And instead of giving a 9:3:3:1, we are getting something different ratios, because here one gene, it is, it's not expressing the allowing the to express, or it is preventing the expression of other genes. Or sometimes two genes are, they require to express a gene, or sometimes, duplicate of gene is required to express a character, or sometimes if one gene is there, it is inhibiting, they are not allowing the other gene to express. And when it is in recessive condition, the other gene is expressing its character. So like this, these gene interactions are a complete deviation from Mendelian the monohybrid and dihybrid phenotypic ratios. In the next class, we'll see another topic.